Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Warning, nuclear warning list for the United States. Now, we're hearing that what is unfolding right now is that as a result of the United States allowing Ukraine to take their missiles and use them against Russia, Russia has now responded and said, all right, if that's how the United States wants to play it, now Russia is saying they are putting together the list of nations that are enemies, adversaries of the United States that would like to have their hands on some missiles to strike the United States. Now, they're going to be sharing with you the list of these, and we've also heard that at this time, as we've seen, that there have been nuclear-capable vessels that have made their way from Russia to Cuba to do drills. Also coming out today, we're hearing that Belarus has said that they are joining alongside of Russia, performing nuclear testing and drills as well, should a conflict arise in the West. So other nations that are against the United States are saying they're making their preparations. And in addition to that, one of the big ones that is on this list and is in the headlines today is Mexico. That is right. Russia is saying that Mexico would love nothing more to be able to strike the United States, that they are actually an enemy to the U.S., and they're saying that they are planning to equip them with missiles as well. I'm going to be sharing with you.
Iran is about to launch an attack on Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and maybe even Texas and Alabama. I'm an Iraq War combat veteran. After I got back from the military and got out, I went to college to study military history. There are multiple reports coming in right now that Havana has taken possession of 300 Shahed drones, and there are Iranian military personnel inside Havana, Cuba, right now. The Gulf states of the United States of America are under direct threat from the Islamic Republic of Iran. These Shahed drones are the ones that Russia is using on Ukraine. It's the one that Iran is using in the Middle East right now. The things that can take out buildings. If Iran gives this order, 300 Shahed drones could head towards the United States and hit their targets within an hour. This is a historical rhyme with the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it's going to develop the same exact way. Donald Trump for months has been using the dog whistle of nuclear weapons, but if U.S. assets on U.S. mainland will be attacked, Donald Trump, I think, will explicitly consider the use of nuclear weapons, and that he will do this in public. If Iran actually gives this order to launch these drones from Cuba, then we are in a whole new different fucking ball game. On the other side of this, if Cuba allows these drones to be launched from its territory, then that will be the end of Cuba. The United States on its own territory has not been attacked by a foreign power with a foreign flag since Pearl Harbor. It is yet another development in this new world war. Until next time, guys, drop a follow on TikTok, drop a follow on Instagram, support my work with $5 a month on Instagram to subscribe, or with the Venmo in my bio. Love you guys, talk to you later.
There really are going to be empty shelves and goods we cannot get within the next couple of weeks, and it's only going to get worse over the coming months. Here's the deal. The last ships from China are arriving in the coming days. They're not going to be sending anymore. They're not. And other countries have already said, hey, we're not going to send medical supplies. So now we're looking at potentially hospitals going back to COVID-era protocols of postponing or no elective procedures at all because they need to prioritize medications and equipment for the most critically ill patients. Rationing care. And it angers me because this is completely avoidable and completely self-inflicted, and it's going to hurt those who can least stand any suffering, the poorest and the sickest among us. And as a person with a human soul, that bothers me. And I'm doing what I can for myself and my family. If you are able to pick up some extra staples like flour or boxes of cereal, canned goods, rice, dry beans, household cleaners, some over-the-counter medications, just to have like cold meds, Tylenol, Advil, things like that. Do it if you can. Go to the dollar store. They have them there. I checked. I was at Dollar Tree yesterday picking up a few things. Seriously, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a little extra backstop. And I know some people are like, I can't even do that. And that's going to be the reality across this country. And it's only going to get worse because not only is the supply not going to be coming in, what we do have and what we do manufacture here, the costs are only going to continue to rise because the demand is going to increase. And this is completely avoidable. So, are we great again yet?
Your World War III update. Okay, it was a bad day for World War III. We are the closest to the brink of nuclear war than we've ever been in human history. Donald Trump and Marco Rubio today confirmed, and the official statement was such that they are enabling and helping the Ukrainians do deep strikes into Russia, despite the fact that they know it is escalatory, but it is worth it because they will win the war. They're also apparently going to be granting Ukraine a license to create Patriot missile systems. I don't know how they're going to do it because it's a very sophisticated and integrated industrial process that requires a very complex supply chain that requires decades to build, but somehow they're going to do it. They're probably going to build them in Europe like they're building all of the other drones. They're going to be giving Ukraine billions and billions of dollars to try to push the Russians over the edge of using nuclear weapons. That's the plan. They're also engaged in a full-scale war with Iran once again, if you hadn't noticed. And they've brought in the target bank to include railways and bridges. Now, why would they be targeting railways and bridges? This, I believe, is some kind of shaping operation. I don't see how this would serve taking out the IRGC's ability to fire drones and missiles, which is one of the primary things they're contending with at this point in time. You take out railways and bridges. A lot of people think it's to attack the civilian population. I don't think so. That doesn't really serve the U.S. interests in any meaningful way to exact that sort of punishment on a population that you are ultimately trying to get on your side so that they assist in the revolt and destabilize the country. If anything, the U.S. has done the complete opposite. This war has brought the Iranians together in a way that nothing else could, that the Iranian government never could. And so they're blowing up these bridges, not as a means of degrading resupply corridors for deep underground military bunkers. No, this is preparation for some ground-based offensive. This is slicing the salami, as they would say. And this very well could just be a provocation in order to get Iran to now attack the surrounding Gulf state countries' critical infrastructure, because Iran has to respond disproportionately. And here's why. Here's actual footage of the strike on.
All right, first of all, I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rekak Radash. I also want to give a double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this word, and the brothers who teach down with sincerity. And also want to give salutations to the elect scattered across the four corners of the earth, known as the Israelite foreigners and the speckled birds. And today we're going to be speaking on rumors of war. Because as we heard, that Donald Trump said that the peace treaty is done and they're ready for all-out war. And I don't know if my sources is right, so I'm not gonna sit here and say it without. I'm gonna just say rumors of war, because there's a lot of rumors of war. All right. So the war with Iran and America is back on full throttle, as far as we know. All right, and there's bombs dropping between Israel, America, and Iran right now. Okay, and a month more people. Then we just found out that Trump France, was it France or NATO? France was just kicked out of NATO alliance. All right, this is even closer. I think I made the wrong turn. I did. To make a U-turn. This is even closer to Bible prophecy in World War III coming, along with the MOTB, and closer to Jacob's trouble. Because we had like a little pause for a minute, and like I always say, this is the calm before the storm. This is surely destruction should come. like a woman that travailed with child. Because right now it's summertime. Yeah, we got things going on, but not on a major scale like that. People still can wake up, get their coffees, their lattes, and their breakfast, and go on their vacations. So it's still a comfortable time, and people believe this false narrative that everything is all right. Maybe that World War III is going to end and Trump's going to come up with a peace plan. We're going to get the gas back and we're going to be great America again. It's not going to happen. All right, here in a week or two, we're supposed to be run out of gas and food. All right, so as we speak right now, all hell is brewing to break loose in weeks or months. All right, and I got some videos queued up with more information that I'm not bringing out, because I'm just going to bring out the precepts you see. All right, and call it a night. So yeah, with France been out of NATO, pretty soon, you know, everybody's going to be against Babylon the Great, because France is now against Babylon. They want nothing to do with Babylon. Trump says he want nothing to do with them. All right, so that's the prophecy of Revelation 17 and 16, or I think so, that they all should hate the great whore. They should eat her flesh and burn her with fire, which would be nuclear destruction. All right, so we got Iran, we got China and Russia backing Iran, and nobody backing America. All right, and America's gonna lose all their allies and get blown up in an hour, as the scriptures say. 200 million missiles with America will fall in 1 hour. All right, and that's Revelation 9. I think it talks about the horse head or something. It's talking about the missiles. All right, so this is the precept I'm gonna bring out. This is Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The second woe was World War II, and that's passed a long time ago, and the third woe cometh quickly. And what that means, the third woe cometh quickly, means when the Lord started this World War III up, which World War III officially pre-started, when Trump decided to go and go in Iran and mess with the Iranians. And when you go to the book of Ezekiel 38, you'll see that God will put the hooks in the jaws of the Philistines and pull them into war and guide them with their weaponry and their missile systems. And God being Russia, and Russia being one of the most powerful armies on earth. Russia, China, and America. All right, so these are Bible prophecies popping off the page. And also the cruel Lord, which talks about in Isaiah 18 or 17. One of them talks about the cruel Lord. If that cruel Lord ain't Trump, Neuro 49, I don't know who it is, because if anybody come worse than Trump, you already fucked with Trump. I don't even know what to call it if somebody else come and do it. All right, so you got rumors of war. You got threats on American cities. All right, from the Iranians. You got gas prices are low right now. You got Trump that went on live TV and said that we're doing a great job, nobody can do it, we got the gas prices low. That's the calm before the storm. Like I said, that's the book of can't think of it right now, but I can't think of it right now, Salakia, but it says, when a woman, when they say piece of safety, surely a woman come like a woman that when they say piece of safety, surely destruction come like a woman that travailed with child. That'd be 2 Thessalonians 5, somewhere around that area. All right, so let's get back into Revelations. And the seven angels sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdom of this world are being the kingdom of the Lord and of Amashiach, and he shall reign forever and forever. This is what you see, the downfall of America. Talks of World War III, Jacob's trouble, blackouts, famines, race wars, uproar of the people, civil war. All these are the ushering of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah's rulership on earth. All right, and the Israelites coming into power and taking over. These are all signs of them things. So you must continue to watch. All right, and this is for the believers, for the 144, the elect, the remnant only. I'm not talking to Christians. I'm not talking to Muslims. I'm not talking to anybody but those that believe in the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, Caesar Borgias, none of these bullshit ass names. And if you don't get on my comment board with the names, bounce out. We ain't got time for y'all. All right, but yeah, this would be the transfer of the kingdom to Yahweh Shah with all these things coming down the pipeline. Rumors of war to actual physical war to the Big Bang War, the main war, the end-all be-all war. Al-Shatya, Al-Shatya, which would be Armageddon, which would be the war that's going to be created in the Middle East and Iran. This is Joel 3:2, and I'm driving, so bear with me. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. His heritage, Israel. Israel only, nobody else. And see, I get on TikTok, y'all still arguing over the same bullshit, which is everybody can be saved, which is not possible. But you keep trying, all right? Keep trying. But back to get on topic. Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people, with them people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. Who is they? Well, just read the book of Psalms 83, where it talks about all the heathen and the enemies of the Israelites and the enemies of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. I will have scattered among the nations and parted my land, and they have cast lots for my people. It's like I'm reading and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine. And so that's putting us in slavery, hardcore bondage, everything they did to us, the ravishing of our people, the murder, just everything they've done to us. And we should all know what they've done to us. All right? So the Lord is going to send them to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which will be the Middle East, and plead with them for his people. And pardon my land. Slacky, let me stop at this red light. And pardon my land, and they have cast lots on my people, and have already read that they might drink. Ye, and what have ye to do with me, O ye that have to do with me, O Tyres and Zidon, and all the coasts of Philistines? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. So the Lord is going to get vengeance on these people, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, which would be the Israelite, his heritage, his people, and have carried into your temples my godly present things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye said, sold unto, hold on, make it a turn, sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the places wherein ye have sold them, and I return your recompense upon your own head. And if you keep reading that, the Lord's going to get into what he's going to do to them, and pretty much he's going to destroy them with nukes I will pull it up, but I just hit the interstate. So you read it yourself. Lord's going to destroy. He's going to bring them all to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to destroy them with nuclear destruction and war. He's going to destroy them. Then also to put the icing on the cake, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to show up in that big chariot and burn them himself with concentrated laser beam fire from the chariots, the UFOs. All right? So that's the judgment of the heathen. And that's what you see happening right now. This is Jeremiah 50 and 14. Put yourself in array against Babylon. Round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare her no arrow, for she has sinned against the Lord. And the arrows are the nukes. All right, I'm about to the arrows are the nukes. All right, and I got another one to read. Second Esdras 16 and 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return. And the arrows are the nukes, and the plagues are the nukes. The plagues are the UFO. The plagues are war, pestilence, death, and famines. Second Esdras 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that is for the precept that I got for all the stores that are about to be empty when these diesel prices, when we run out of gas. And these are all plagues coming for Egypt. So with that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. Shalom.